Hey everybody, welcome back to the Desk of Interesting Things here. We are in the middle of getting ready for CES. By the time you see this, we will be on the road to Las Vegas, covering all the new and latest tech that you might enjoy. But before that, we got sent something ahead of the show. This is the XbotGo Chameleon. Now this one is pretty interesting. The team sent this one over to us ahead of CES, where we're going to go and speak to them about their new innovations. But this is a red dot winner for 2024 for last year. And this is, of course, a camera, but it's a little bit different than your regular camera. This is an AI sports camera, and I know that AI word might scare you a little bit, but we're going to jump into this one to see what this is all about. So we'll open this up, and we'll talk a little bit about it as we do. Now, the XbotGo Chameleon is actually the second device in their action line, and this is their updated model here. Just came out recently. So let's open this up and see what's included, and we'll speak about the unit. Really nice packaging here. So we'll open this up, get that air seal going. There we go. Break that open, off to the side. And what can you expect inside? A couple of things. This is the Chameleon. There's a couple of bundles that you can get when you pick this one up. If you do want to pick this up, we'll talk about that in a second. But let's just take a look at the unit itself. Really simple packaging here. This is the lime green edition. They didn't tell me which one they were going to send out, but I had my fingers crossed for the lime green edition, just because it's such a wild looking camera. Okay, so if you notice it, it looks a little bit different. So this is the camera itself. It's got 4K up to 60 FPS. It's got free live streaming, so you can live stream through this camera, and you can have cloud storage as well with no monthly fees. Now, we spoke about the AI. It does have an AI coprocessor in this, and that is for a reason. This thing has two cameras when in use. If you notice, there's a gimbal here on top. You actually slide your phone up top, and those two become two cameras. They work together in conjunction to film. So what do we want to do with a camera like this? So there's a couple of cool things. This is intended for sports, okay? And it comes with, you can get the bundle with this gigantic tripod that'll go huge. We have one as well, and it'll clearly go to the very, very top and cover a whole football or soccer field like that to capture things. The AI in this will assist in player tracking, moving with the ball, moving with players to assist that. And because it's AI, it's going to do that all on its own. So a couple of cool things you can do with a camera like this. If you want to capture your kids' football, soccer events, tennis events, whatever you want to do, you can set one of these up, and it can do it on its own thanks to the AI, especially if it's going to be very high up on a tall tripod. That's going to allow you to enjoy the game instead of living through your kind of phone screen, and it's going to do the work for you too. Another great example of something like this is if you have a sports club, right, and you want to live stream your games, your content to your followers or to members of the club or to families of the club, you can set something like this up, and they can watch along at home. And there's a couple of really cool built-in features, including a live scoreboard feature. So because of the AI involved, you can have your team on the bottom here, on the chyron here, the opposing team, and you can have the score in the middle, and it will update along with that. So that's a really, really cool feature, especially for something like soccer, to do that. Another thing, maybe you're an individual, maybe you're a coach, maybe you're even a player. You can set this to track from a standard angle, maybe a high angle, and you can use it to rewatch plays. And you can use it kind of as a teaching tool or as an aid in your skills to better them. It's a really cool kind of idea in that term. You can also cut up things. This has its own a companion app, which is built in, and it allows you to edit as well. So if you don't have a full editing suite like Adobe Premiere or something like that, and you want to do some basic editing, maybe for TikTok or Instagram or something like that, you can do that from your game. So let's talk about the camera itself. So it claims, the XbotGo team claims, that this has a 95% tracking accuracy when used, and that's pretty good. Now, alongside here is the remote. And so the remote is important because if you look at the XbotGo here, it doesn't have any buttons. Everything's built in. The first model had buttons on the device, which is fine, but that becomes a little bit problematic if you're going to hoist this up into aerial view, right? Because then you can't do anything. So you have this that's going to aid you in the controls as well as on your phone. But if it's going to be loaded up here way up high, this is going to be your go-to. So the resolution setting for this, it can handle 720p, 1080p, and it can go up to 4K, as we talked about, up to 60 frames per second. Now, the working duration when fully charged, this is a sizable device. It's got a little bit of heft to it, is going to be, they say, about 8 hours on its own working duration. Now, if you're using with a cell phone in conjunction, like most people will, it's going to give you about 5 to 6 hours. So there should be just enough to get through any event or any game, which usually will run, even in the professional, semi-professional leagues, roughly 3 hours at most. It's got a series of colors. This is lemon green. The lens itself here, we talked about a little bit, is an 120-degree ultra-wide angle AI lens. Now, that's helped with the AI coprocessor that's built into this thing. Now, to charge this from, let's say, completely dead, should take about 4 hours. So if you're going to go out tomorrow or on the weekend to see a game or to record something, charges up the night before and you'll be good to go. Weight is about 540 grams. It is a fairly hefty device, which is good on that. So that's the basic of it for the XbotGo Chameleon. And what can it do? We can talk about some of the features a little more in depth because we've really been interested in this, using it. And we're planning on taking this thing to CES and hopefully shoot some B-roll footage. So if you are at CES and you see a 50-foot pole tripod in the middle of the convention center with a bright green XbotGo Chameleon going on there, that's probably it. Maybe come say hi if you see this ahead of this time. So again, when we talk about auto tracking, it's got dual cameras, again, with this camera and your phone. It provides auto tracking for over 20 sports built in. So they understood different AI mechanisms and kind of algorithms for, say, soccer compared to tennis, compared to football. And they also claim that more team sports will be added along the way through updates. But for the time being, 20 sports is quite a bit. On the surface, you have things like soccer, you have volleyball, you have golf and hockey, and then they have a bunch of other sports currently in beta, something like fencing, right? Tracking along the lines of badminton. You have lacrosse and stuff. So they plan on adding a number of additional sports as they're requested, and they get those up to date. Now, one fun thing about this is the precision tracking for key players. Now, this is an interesting thing. Because of the AI built in, it's not simply going to, say, follow the ball around. It's not simply going to be locked into one position. This kind of adapts with it and can track jersey numbers and players. So when you set this up, you can adjust by body shape to follow. You can adjust by, like I said, jersey number and additional things so that you can really get the best thing going. So let's say if maybe you're not a team using this, maybe you're a parent using this, right? You can punch in your kid's jersey number and it'll know to track them and follow it along. So maybe you want to have a couple of these going, or maybe you want to track your forward, right? And get someone that's going to get those points in for the soccer game. You can do that to help you better follow along and just less work for you to do. Now, on top of that, it can also do scenes, right, for different sports environments. Because it has built-in scene tracking capabilities. So whether you're capturing something like a really fast-paced soccer game or something slower like dance routines, this is really good. They recommend it for dance performance and stuff. It can track those scenes differently. It knows that, say, soccer is going to be really jumpy, really fast, moving that ball around, as opposed to something like maybe dance or maybe some other sport of that nature, which is a little bit slower, and it can adjust to that. That's really, really good. Now, on top of that, there are enhancements along with the camera when you use it with the app. So the app features auto highlight generation, right? Like I said, you can edit and cut into it. It automatically creates highlights from the footage that it captures. So that might be really cool and stuff like that. You can also live stream, of course, through the app. It's made really easy, and you can share your moments in real time to friends or to groups, which is something for a sport or a team might really be beneficial to you, especially without any sort of monthly fees on top. It's all standard. Everything you're going to get that you need out of the box to use this is there. So now there are a couple of bundles that you can get. There'll be a link in the descriptions to the Xbox or the Xbot website, so you can kind of take a look for yourself. We don't get anything for that. We don't get any kickback or any affiliate link, none of that. You can just go there on your own. The standard bundle will run you right now $339, and it works with most every major current phone on the market, from Apple to Android. There is additional bundles if you just want the camera itself. There's a professional elite one that comes with the huge tripod and all sorts of that. So you're looking at about $340 all the way up to about $570 for the whole kit. Now that's a big chunk of change, but it's not something out of reach if this might be something for you in terms of how you're going to use it. Whether you're a team, this may be more affordable, right? If you're a professional athlete that wants tracking, or if maybe, and just an idea for you, maybe you want to kind of start a little side business, right? You can live stream games. You can have this AI features for a organization, and you can go out and say, hey, maybe go to your local rec soccer league or a football league or even a team and say, hey, I can come out on Saturdays and film your stuff, and all your families that maybe can't make the games or maybe they're around the country can watch live with a full chyron below, like it's a professional sporting event. And you may be able to turn this into a little side hustle. So there's a lot of options for something like the XbotGo Chameleon. We really like the idea. We're going to be playing around with this quite a bit at CES. We're going to do some footage. Maybe we'll go and catch a league that some of us are in and kind of get some on the field training with this device to see how it works. And if you'd like to see that, let us know, and stay tuned. The full written feature with all the tests and all that stuff will be on the website over at gambitmag.com. Link in the description, gambitmag.com. You'll be able to read that when that comes up. But for the rest of it, this is the XbotGo Chameleon, and this is their AI-powered camera. If you are interested in it, there'll be links in the description. We will also be talking to the team at CES, so there'll be a written write-up and maybe a video feature there as well. So if this is something you're interested in, just take a look at the links below. Again, nothing comes back to us. We're just doing this because we think it's pretty cool. So until next time, thank you for watching. If you want more content, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe here on the channel. Make sure to follow along for our CES 2025 coverage over on gambitmag.com, which will be going on all week long for you to enjoy. So until next time, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video.